of all, I listened to the album and I really, really, really enjoyed it. Bangers. Will you tell me a little bit, maybe just about like your like individual musical backgrounds and then how you started collaborating together?
Ceci and I actually, we went to the same music school, just different years. I was mostly found music through like engineering and doing like analog recording and like nerding out on gear and shit. And then found a way to like producing through that, and then moved to LA and was like engineering a bunch of rap and hip hop sessions, which then helped me get like a lot faster. I started to get more into like raving and dance music, which is totally like what I loved when I was a teenager, growing up in Dallas. Horrible EDM music that I truly adore now. DAGR came about with just Ceci and I doing a session together, and this new record definitely came out of like the pandemic and not being able to rave. So that's kind of like all we wanted to make.
I was in a bunch of bands growing up and was very much in like the pop punk scene. That was a big part of my life. When I moved to LA, I moved here with dreams of wanting to produce and write for other people, which I have been doing for the last 5 years. It's been really cool. But I feel like something that is bred out of that comes out of that a lot of the time is producers and writers wanting to claim a space for themselves. And that's definitely the impetus of DAGR, because Veronika and I just had all these beats and things that we had made and songs we made with other artists that were just never going to come out for whatever reason. And so that's kind of what the first album was. And then going into the second album, we were very much like, we want to make a dance album.
Well, I think on one of your Instagram posts that the album started in a house on a golf course in Palm Springs watching Shrek 3.
Yeah.
Could I, if possible, could I get more of the backstory?
One of my best friends, her parents own this crazy house that's in Palm Desert, and it's this neighborhood where I don't know if you watch Real Housewives.
It's a gated community. It's like a ridiculous gated community.
Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Kyle has a house there. It was a really weird time actually, because it was in the middle of all the BLM protests, and he and I had been like out protesting every day for like what felt like months. I just had a lot of anxiety, as we all did. And so we were like, let's just take a trip for the weekend and like see what happens. And we took some mushrooms, and it was both really dark and scary, and also just felt cathartic in some ways, being there and like seeing what horrible things humans have created in these communities. So we watched Shrek 3, and it was really, really hard to watch on mushrooms.
It was emotional. If you ever
really
need a just complete full spectrum spiritual experience, Shrek 3.
Noted. Obviously, you said the pandemic kind of inspired focusing on dance music specifically. What has been, if you can speak to this, returning to the club been like for both of you?
I definitely have like way more patience for like, oh, I'm tired. Oh, I have this thing in the morning. I'm like, I don't even care. Let's go. Like, it doesn't matter how late we stay out. Like, yes. Or just like, I definitely have way more interest also in raving random places. When everything started to open up, it was like, truly don't care where it is, what kind of party it is.
I think I'm just going to specific raves, like being a lot more like thoughtful in deciding, or not even raves, just like live events, and like deciding what I want to go to. Because I definitely like don't go out as much as I used to before the pandemic. And I think that's also like an age thing. So really picking and choosing the things that I want to go to based on like the lineups. And there are obviously like still some parties that are like go-tos for me that I know will always book really good people, but I am actually like a lot less inclined to like go to random things as much as I used to. But if I make the decision and I'm like, I'm gonna go, this rave starts at midnight, I'll be like, cool, I'm gonna disco nap before and then show up at the rave and then do the thing, figure it out.
I was just like looking at the DAGR Instagram. What is this video boombox that is in these like promo videos?
I mean, that is a boombox that has a DVD player on it.
Where did you get this?
I mean,
It's
capitalism is,
PVC actually.
I feel like there's only like 1 year that it could have been like produced,
Yeah.
which maybe like 2002 or something, but it's
New.
so good.
It has Bluetooth. It doesn't really work, and it was
Mm.
still like $150.
It's extremely cool. I mean, it sounds like if they could figure out how to make it work good, like that could start the revolution, honestly.
in a lot of ways.
Could.
Yeah.
Well, first we had this like Zoolander idea initially when we ordered it, because we were like, we're going to be trapped inside the boombox and like
Mm-hmm.
With smoking a lot of weed will do.